Florida State did a really, really good job of speeding us up on offense the entire game with their aggressiveness, their length, and their switching. It made it very difficult for us to get a catch on offense, which led to over-dribbling and trying to make plays for ourselves instead of moving the ball. I thought they were very handsy on defense, causing 20 turnovers. I don't think we've had 10 or more. I can't remember the last time we had more than 10. So credit to their defense and Coach Hamilton for getting his team ready to play like that. I thought they put a lot of pressure on us in their transition offense right from the get-go, misses and turnovers. I think they were 10 for 17 in at least what we had. I think 10 for 17 in transition for the game. Bob and Miller did a really good job. He got him going early in the game. Thought Chandler Jackson really lifted him in the second half. He made some big plays. And they didn't settle for threes. They kept putting pressure on us at the rim, which caused us to foul. Now, we did tie it up with 67, I think 67, like that. And then they scored, I think, 7 of the last 8 possessions on that run. We fouled 4 times. And so more often than not, the most aggressive team is going to win. And I thought they were the most aggressive team tonight. And I think their team's getting a lot better. They're a prime example of, you play a 31-game season. It's not done in 10 or 15. And so they've won 3 in a row now. They're going to be hard to beat, and they've got a nice team, and congrats to them.
Questions for Efton?
Did the size and physicality you guys were seeing for Florida State, did that have an impact on the turnovers and how you guys played it?
I mean, yeah, they had, good physicality, but at the end of the day, we got to match that, and we got to play, get a possession, catch at the end of the day, and just, be the more gritty team, like Coach Forbes says. So,
Efton, you played in a couple different leagues. How does the ACC compare to maybe the West Coast or SEC?
It's physical. It's physical. I mean, SEC was physical too. So I mean, it's not like you're playing, an off night. It's every team is good in this league. So we just gotta lock in, play more physical, and just keep chopping wood at this point. Because I mean, we only played 4 games. We have way more games to play for the season. So in the conference season.
Speaking of, what was the post-game message after? What's focus points for this?
We can't turn the ball over. We can't win with that. It's statistically proven. We can't have 20 turnovers with that. And at the end of the day, we got to take care of the ball and play good defense and be the more physical team. At the end of the day, the stats don't lie. Honestly, if you look at the numbers, it's always in favor. Chance favors and aggressive. I learned that quite my freshman year. So yeah.
Efton, what's the frustration when repeatedly getting within the lead or sometimes taking the lead and then at the snap of a finger, it disappears all over again several times throughout the game?
It's not frustration. It's just we got to take better shots at the end of the day. We got to get kills and stops and good shot selection. We had a lot of bad shot selection. I got to watch the film back again when we're playing. But at the end of the day, we got to get stops and get good shots and win the game. So yeah.
Anything else for Efton? All right. Questions for Coach Forbes?
Steve, obviously turnovers were a big factor tonight at 20.
Yeah.
What do you think was causing that?
Well, I don't think they listened to us as far as putting the game plan into the game. I think they practiced it, and then they didn't do it. I played this team enough to know what they're going to do. They're going to switch. They're going to make life difficult. You have to be tough enough to get a possession catch on offense. Then you have to move it and then cut. You have to cut. You have to make them think they're switching, come together and cut and get them behind the play and then drive them. And then the play's a lot of time not for you, it's for somebody else because they come running in there. It's pretty simple. But we didn't do that. We just tried to beat them off the dribble from the get-go without passing the ball. That's not working. That's what they want. And so we played right into their hands. And then we drove it into two or three guys, and then you're trying to make a play out of there, and they got long, tall guys that are physical. They got a lot of deflections and a lot of steals. And so I don't know, the way we started the second half, I don't know what team that was. I've been coaching 35 years. I guess you have those moments where you're like, what are we doing? There was no fancy plays to be drawn up. At that time out, it was like, what are we doing? And so, I'm disappointed. Because I think this is a game that we could have come on the road and got, but you got to give a lot of credit to Florida State. I mean, they came out. I thought they were the more aggressive team. I'm not saying that they played harder. I don't believe that, but I think they were the more aggressive team, and I thought they did the best job, and that's on me of getting their game plan into the game. And we didn't do it. We did it at times, but not consistently enough to win the basketball game. Like, you know, that's we tied it up a bunch. We get close, and then we'd have breakdowns, you know, on offense and defense, not just the offense. I mean, when we tied it up, they scored 7 out of the next 8 possessions. That's the time if you want to win on the road, you got to get 7 out of 8 stops. We didn't do it. Credit to them. And lesson learned, hopefully.
You mentioned the defense. There were portions of the game where the defense really did shore up, and that was where you guys started to kind of get back into it. What was the difference from when things were going well defensively to not going
well? I think a lot of the issues on defense, first of all, were our offense, our turnovers, putting us in defensive transition behind the play. I think once we got to where we could get them in the half court, we were pretty good. We have been all year. You know, we had some missed assignments. You know, that kind of goes with it. But we had a couple guys play. We don't teach out there to deny, and we got back cut 2 or 3 times out of the corner, which is unforgivable. That hurt us. You know, not fighting over screens, going over when we should be going under. Just little things that lead to baskets, fouling guys when they're probably not going to make the basket, tough twos. I have to watch, but I think a lot of our issues were more in defensive transition than in half court. If we could have got it to more of a half court game, I think we had a better chance to win.
I know you're probably not much in the mood for positives, but are you sure Parker Fredrickson is a freshman, because he makes a lot of smart plays?
Yeah, he's a good player. You know, he missed a pretty tough front end of a 1-on-1 though that he needs to make. I mean, that's why he was in there. I trust him. I don't think we do a great job of finding him, to be honest with you. He's probably open more than what we think. And you know, he's not a one-dimensional guy. You guys know this. I mean, he can defend, he can rebound. You know, he got sped up one time into pressure and turned it over. I'm really disappointed. You know, our 3 starting guards had 13 of our 20 turnovers. That's not good. And I think I did a poor job of preparing them for out of bounds. I thought we turned it over too much against the out of bounds plays. We knew what was coming. We had some good stuff in, but obviously I did a poor job of preparing them for it, because I thought we were really poor against them out of bounds too underneath the basket.
Some of this stuff comes from the end of game, but again, it was a game with a lot of fouls, especially with Biggs, Andrew, Efton. How much of an impact is that you're constantly fighting the foul trouble with some of these guys?
I mean, it's just part of the game. You know, I don't really think about it too much. That's why you have all these guys on scholarship to play them. I thought Zach played really hard. You know, it's just part of it. They got to go through the same problems. Now, they don't, because they got a whole, what do you call it, a regiment of Army guys over there running around. Oh, God. They got 2 deep over. They got football 2 deep roster. Yeah, I don't think foul trouble is going to hurt them a lot, but it will hurt us. And you know, and you know, here's the sad part about it. If you go back and watch, I promise you, probably 2 of Efton's fouls are probably because our guards got beat off the dribble, or gambled, or did something they weren't supposed to do that caused something to happen at the rim. You know, now Efton's got to learn not to calm down. You know, he's got to put body between with hands up. You know, that's something he can get better at. You know, we need more out of Andrew. I don't think he was very effective either. Steady, but we need more. And yeah, you know, I think the game was a little too fast for Marcus. Maybe it's hard coming in there like that and being a freshman. You know, and that's why we went small. We went with Parker and we put Andrew at 5, and you know, we did all right.
Were they doing anything to keep Hunter off balance?
I don't think so. I think he sped him up. He didn't do a very good job playing off 2 feet. You know, and whenever time if you guys go back, every time we drove and played off 2 feet, we either scored or got fouled. Launching off 1 foot is a terrible recipe. You're not getting a call. You're going to be out of position in defensive transition going the other way because you're going to go flying past the basket. I just don't think they put the game plan into the game. Him, Cameron, Loopy, all of them early. Now, we got some points in there where we did, I don't think they. What I'm saying is, I don't think they did anything we didn't know they were going to do. They just did a better job of executing their game plan than we did, and credit to them. And you know, I don't think it was anything different. It was just us playing the way we needed to play to win the game.
Anything else?
When you move ahead from this game, like looking ahead to Virginia, is this a game that you kind of flush it, don't talk about it, or is it?
No, I'm not a flush guy. You know, I do flush at home. I put the lid down too. My mom raised me that way. I don't think so. I think you got to learn. I think you got to learn from your mistakes. We don't play till Saturday. They got a whole week to prepare. We're gonna have a mad animal coming in there on Saturday, because I guarantee you they're gonna be ready to play. And you know, so we got to go back and take tomorrow off, and then we got to learn from some film and get ready for a big game on Saturday at home, which is what we want. Life in the ACC. Thank you.